Ever feel like you get English? Reading and listening are fine, but actually speaking it, forget about it.
Totally. It's like you said, you get it, but then when it's time to speak, it's like...
Total radio silence.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are doing a deep dive today on this exact thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a great video all queued up.
Okay.
It's got some great ideas about why speaking English, even when you understand it, can be so hard.
Right.
And then more importantly, how to get over those hurdles and actually start speaking.
Yeah, how to get better at it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it all starts with this...
With this great analogy. Right.
Yeah.
It's like...
Understanding English versus speaking it is kind of like knowing a song.
Oh.
Versus playing it.
I like that.
So you might know all the words to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right.
You can sing along in the shower.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you had to sit down at a piano...
Oh, no.
And play it...
That's a whole other thing.
Totally different skill set.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's the same with language.
Okay, so, consuming English...
Reading, listening.
Reading, watching TV, whatever.
Right.
That's great, but speaking... It requires a different kind of practice.
Right.
You got to train those muscles. You got to work them out.
So then, why is it so hard?
Well, they talk about that in the video.
Okay.
And I think the first one is probably something we can all relate to.
Okay.
It's just a simple lack of practice.
Yeah.
You might be...
Inundating yourself.
Yeah, you're consuming all this English content,
Okay.
books, movies, podcasts, whatever.
Right.
But you're not actually speaking.
Right. And that's a different skill set.
Totally.
Okay.
Like I was saying, it's a muscle you got to train.
You got to use it or lose it, right?
Yeah.
Use it or lose it.
Exactly.
But the thing is,
they have this idea of micro practice.
Micro practice.
So even 5 minutes a day of speaking out loud can make a huge difference over time.
5 minutes?
Yeah, it's not about blocking out 2 hours and sitting down.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I was going to say, we think we need these long stretches of time, but even just a little bit here and there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool.
It rewires your brain to think in a spoken way.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we got to get over the fear, right?
Oh, totally.
The fear of speaking, making a mistake.
The fear is real.
Yeah, Cody.
And it's natural to feel that way,
Right.
Because when we speak, we're kind of putting ourselves out there, making ourselves vulnerable. We think, oh, what if they judge me?
Right. What if I say the wrong thing?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they talk about this in the video, this idea of reframing those mistakes.
Oh, interesting.
They're not failures. They're feedback. They're opportunities to learn.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world.
It's data.
It's data.
Yeah, okay.
It's information. It's showing you, okay, this is what I need to work on.
Yeah, okay.
And it's fine. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, for sure.
When they're learning a language.
I was going to say, especially
It's part of the process.
Yeah.
It's how you get better.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, and then there's that other thing, too, which I think we all experience as language learners.
Oh, you mean translation thinking?
Yes, translation thinking.
Yeah.
Where it's you're always going back and forth between your native language and English.
Exactly. It's this constant loop in your head.
Yeah.
And it can be a real roadblock.
Yeah, it slows you down for sure.
Totally.
But how do we overcome that?
Well, there are a few things.
Okay.
One thing is to focus on the sounds of English.
Okay.
And not so much the words themselves.
So just really immersing yourself in the sound.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then you mentioned shadowing earlier.
Right.
And I think that's a great technique for this.
I was going to say shadowing is so great. So for our listener, just in case, they're not familiar.
Right, yeah.
You pick a short clip from a video, a podcast, a song, whatever.
Anything you like.
Yeah.
Anything where you have a native speaker talking. Okay. And you listen carefully to how they say things, and then you try to repeat it.
Right.
Matching their intonation, their rhythm, even the emotion they put into it.
Yeah.
And it really helps train your ear and your mouth to work together.
Yeah.
So that you can start to internalize those natural patterns of English.
It's like having a personal pronunciation coach.
Really, totally.
Totally.
In your pocket.
Yeah. And you could do it anytime, anywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
It's super convenient.
Yeah. So, okay, we've talked about the reasons why it's so hard.
Some of the hurdles.
Yeah, some of the hurdles.
Why we get stuck.
But what about the solutions?
Oh, right.
What can we do about it?
Let's get to the good stuff.
Right. How do we fix this?
Okay, so the video talks about, this whole toolkit.
Of tips.
Okay.
And one that we've already touched on is micro practice.
Right.
Just those little chunks of practice throughout the day.
Yep.
And shadowing, which we just talked about, that's a big one.
Okay.
Another really good tip is learning common phrases.
Oh.
Okay. Think of it like building blocks for conversation.
So instead of thinking about, like, all these grammar rules.
Right. You don't have to get bogged down in the grammar.
Yeah.
You can just start with these pre-made phrases that you can use in a bunch of different situations.
Oh, I see.
And it just takes the pressure off.
Makes it easier to, like, plug and play.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It helps you build fluency naturally.
I think one thing that people struggle with a lot is finding a speaking partner.
Right. That can be tough.
So what are some, like, we always talk about apps like HelloTalk.
Yeah, HelloTalk's great.
But I feel like even that can be a little intimidating.
Yeah, it can be a little bit.
Like, how do you approach that?
Well, HelloTalk is a fantastic resource. Yeah.
For connecting with native speakers.
Yeah.
But it's not the only option, right? So if you're not comfortable with that, there are other things you can do.
Okay.
Like look for language exchange groups.
Oh, okay.
Either in your local area or online.
Oh, interesting.
There are tons of them out there.
I see, yeah.
Or even just joining online communities where people chat in English about shared interests.
So, like, find something you're interested in. Yeah. Like, if you're interested in video games or
knitting or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Find a community of people who also like that thing and chat with them in English.
I like that.
And that's a great way to practice.
It's more natural that way, too.
Yeah, it's a more natural way to get that speaking practice.
Okay, cool.
And it's fun.
Right, you're not even thinking about the fact that you're practicing.
Exactly.
Right.
You're just enjoying yourself.
So, yeah, I think the big takeaway here is that it's about progress, not perfection.
Right, you don't need to sound like a news anchor.
No, not at all.
Like right off the bat.
It's not about being perfect, it's about communicating.
Right, exactly.
And the cool thing is, even small, consistent efforts can lead to huge improvements over time.
Love it.
So this deep dive has been a good reminder of that for me.
Right, absolutely, yeah.
Just got to keep at it.
So before we wrap up, here's a question for our listener.
Okay.
What's one simple English phrase that you can practice saying out loud today?
Ooh, good one.
It could be something like, hello, how are you?
Yeah, classic.
Or, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Oh, I like that one.
Right. Just something like,
and
needs to get those muscles working.
Exactly.
And make that commitment to practice it out loud.
Yeah, make it a habit.
And feel that confidence start to build.
That's the key.
Yes, absolutely.
Confidence is key.
Confidence is key.
So you got this.
Yes, you got this.
All right.
Okay, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
Catch you next time.
Bye.